Hey, Dave here. Just want to talk to you a little bit about Martin Archery. Recently come back to the sport. When I was a kid, a lot of you might remember the old Ben Pearson glass bows. It was one of the first weapons that I ever had as a kid, and I really enjoyed it. Shot it a lot. Kind of got out of the sport for a number of years. I'm in my early 50s now, and have recently come back to the sport and really enjoying it and doing really well. I prefer the traditional style of shooting, recurves, longbows. I recently, about 6 months ago, bought a recurve bow, and it was a 40-pound bow, and shot it for a while, and it was a decent bow, but I really knew that I wanted something more powerful, something that I could not only hunt with but even compete with. And I found that Martin bows really offered more for the dollar than any other bow that was out there as far as I was concerned. And I found this Martin Jaguar. This is a really great bow for me. It's fairly inexpensive, around 150 bucks depending on where you get it. This particular bow, I've kind of had it worked on a little bit. It's real important to get a decent, or at least a very good string depending on how serious you are. This is a fast flight. This string was handmade at an archery pro shop here in my hometown, and I've added a couple extra. These are beaver fur string silencers. You always want to get your brace height, which is the distance between your riser and your bowstring. You want to have these things set right so you can get the best performance out of your bow. It's quieter, and the overall performance of the bow. The arrows I use carbon arrows. I found that they're the best for me. I use a gold tip 35-55 traditional arrow. A lot of the time, mostly just for target practice and shooting. I do have these CT rhinos that I use. These are 35-60s, and these are primarily for hunting. They hit really hard. They are a little bit heavier arrow, but I think it's really great for people to understand that there are affordable bows out there, and Martin makes some of the very best. I'm really glad to have this, and I recently competed in an NFAA competition here locally where I live, and after shooting for just only about 6 months, I placed third in the traditional class shooting this Martin recurve bow. And I was up against a lot of Olympic style bows, a lot of very expensive handmade bows, and I tell you what, you get a good bow from Martin and you can make it shoot just as good as any expensive bow out there on the market.